even when the lender says, okay, you're good to go on this home, wait to purchase furniture, just anything large, to make any large payment or large transactions until after closing day. So your real estate agent on your behalf will submit an offer on the home that you choose. And that offer is going to just consist of things like earnest money, option period, the price that you're willing to purchase the home at, any concessions. Those are all the components that will go into an offer that is submitted.
Buying a home can feel overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. In this video, we're going over every single step of the process from getting pre-approved to moving in, so you can skip the confusion and start the journey with confidence.
Yeah, so be sure to stick around to the end, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do. And we're going to be jumping right into it with step number 1, which is just really assessing your readiness.
Right, so this is a very important part of the process, as everything else in the process is just as important. But to really have a jump off to purchasing a home, you really want to evaluate your finances, right? You want to make sure you have a steady flow of income, right? You want to make sure you have a solid savings foundation, as well as not having too many payments, so not having too much debt, in addition to your mortgage payment that will soon come, right? So you want to put yourself in the best position as possible.
No, definitely. And besides evaluating your finances, just assessing your readiness also goes into assessing your lifestyle, right? And your timing of moving. So whether you're going to be moving within the same city you're already in, or you're going to be completely relocating to another city or state, you want to think about what area do you want to live in? Do you want to be near schools, near work? Do you want to be more in a rural area? So it just really deciding on what you want your space to look like, what area you want to live in, what you want that to look like.
Right, and even expanding on that a little further as far as what area you want to be in, you want to consider, if you're moving to San Antonio, the weather, right? The seasons, or maybe lack thereof, because we don't get full 4 seasons as we hope we do, right? But you want to just consider all those facts and ensuring that the affordability and the environment in which you're looking to move to is going to still suit you for years to come, right?
Sure.
And most importantly, you want to decide how much you can afford, right? So you want to look at your budget versus your comfort zone, which actually leads us into item number 2.
Which is getting pre-approved, right? And you're going to want to get pre-approved through a lender. And so there's actually 2 different things I want to talk about when it comes to getting pre-approved, which is pre-qualification versus pre-approval.
Right.
So you can go to a lender just to get pre-qualified, and that you just kind of give them very basic general information, and you don't really need to provide items like your W-2s, bank statements. You just kind of they kind of go off of what you tell them, right? The information you verbally give them, and they can kind of give you an estimate, a general estimate of what you can possibly afford. Now, a pre-approval is a lot stronger than a pre-qualification, because with that, you do need to provide documentation for things, right? W-2s, income tax, right?
Debt to income ratio.
Yes, bank statements, things like that. So you can get a more exact number of what you're looking for when it comes to what you can afford. And that, if you find your home and you want to make an offer, a pre-approval is always going to be a lot stronger than a pre-qualification when you are submitting an offer on a home.
Correct. So that was all good points. And then that actually leads us into item number 3, which is actually choosing your agent, right? So how do you even find a lender? How do I know that the lender is actually understanding my situation, right? So that goes into finding the agent that possibly has resources that they can send to you, can refer you in different directions to make sure that it is aligning with what your expectations are of actually getting pre-approved, and understanding that everybody's going to be in your side of the court, right?
Sure. And then just choosing your agent too, like Frank mentioned, your real estate agent, just even whether you're going to be purchasing new construction, right? Yeah. You want to make sure that you have an agent that's in your corner. They're going to be able to do the negotiations on your behalf, the contract writing. There's all sorts of things, timelines, deadlines that need to be met. So you definitely want to make sure that you have a professional in your corner that's going to be able to guide you through that home buying process.
Right, exactly. And they're going to be able to inform you and direct you as to what you're looking for to save you time, right? Because that's the whole purpose of utilizing an agent. It's to go to the professionals to say, hey, this is what I'm looking for, and them to bring everything to the table that says, hey, this is within your price range. This is the area in which they have communities with HOA. This is where they don't have HOA. If you want to live closer to home, then maybe this could be an option because here in this area, it gets you 30 minutes to a commute time versus an hour, right? So the list goes on when it comes to choosing the right agent. But importantly, if you're looking for resale homes and you're looking for what lender can approve you for a budget, then they have resources to do just that.
No, definitely. So now once you have your pre-approval in hand, you have your real estate agent that you've chosen to work with, the next step would be actually going out to search for your home, right? Starting that home search. And that is just narrowing down, like I spoke about earlier, when you're assessing your readiness, narrowing down, okay, I want to be, in X, Y, and Z areas, right? I want to just kind of focus on this certain area within the town. So you want to go out with your agent and look at homes, right? Tour homes, go to open houses, just kind of get a feel for that area, what home you're looking for. And this is also where the wants versus needs come in too. It's very different when you're like boots on the ground looking at homes, and then you kind of like start like picking off like, okay, well, I can do without this, or I really want this. So during that home search, that's really when you start fine tuning your wants versus needs in a home.
Right. Now, although the agent is going to, if you choose us, right, we would direct you exactly, hey, this is what your options are. This is where you could go. Right? It doesn't end there. The search doesn't end just with what we see on the ground.
Sure.
This is doing your own research because you all know what style of home you like. You know whether or not the backyard is going to be big enough or not, or small enough. You know that whether or not you want a flatter driveway versus one on a slight grade. And so working in tandem with an agent is also going to be beneficial to even reduce that time of wasteful time, if you will, of just going to homes that we're viewing that weren't really a contender from the beginning anyway, right? So why have seen it unless it's really just to say, hey, I really like this home, but I feel like there's something different and I don't think I'm getting that vibe from the pictures. Let's go ahead and step foot into that home, schedule a showing, and then we take a look at just that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And once you have completed the home search, you've found the home that you want to put an offer in, the next step is just that, making an offer, right? So your real estate agent on your behalf will submit an offer on the home that you choose. And that offer is going to just consist of things like earnest money, right? An option period, the price that you're willing to purchase the home at, any concessions. Those are all the components that will go into an offer that is submitted.
Right. So there, like Alyssa mentioned, there are quite a bit of items to consider when making an offer on a home. But if you utilize us, what we normally do is we normally get everybody, we get you on a Zoom call and we kind of go into the details of, hey, what is earnest money? What is closing costs exactly? Now, we're going to briefly review them, but if you have any questions, then definitely, obviously, feel free to reach out to us. If you're looking for representation and looking for a home here in San Antonio, we would definitely love to assist you. But let's briefly just talk about a few items, right? So you find the home that you really love. It's at that time where it says, hey, you know what, we feel comfortable making an offer on this house, so let's go ahead and do so. So what we want to consider is obviously the price point of the house, right? So once we consider the price point, based off the price point, there's going to involve putting down earnest money. Really, there's not a lot of out-of-pocket expenses in the beginning of the offer, but one thing that is required is going to be earnest money, which for me, I like to say it's interest money. Like, I'm really interested in the house and I'm willing to show you that I'm interested. So here's about $1,000, here's about $2,000, depending on what is required or what they're requesting. To put down in the home to take it off the market while you conduct, your offer and negotiations for 30 days.
Sure. And it's going to differ. Like resale homes, it's normally about 1%. But again, it's just going to depend on if the seller is requiring anything different. It's normally about 1%. With new construction, the builder will just always normally have a set amount.
Right. Sometimes it could be 500. Sometimes it could be 3,000. Every builder is going to be different. Right. And so once we solidify what our earnest money is going to be, once we've, understood that, hey, this is the price point, and even though they're asking for this price, we want to offer this amount, right? And we'd have a video where we kind of go in depth of of what it is to actually negotiate and things like that. So we'll put that link up here.
Yeah, because that's just what you are doing essentially when you're submitting an offer, right? It's negotiating, right? So you're also going to negotiate not only the price, but even closing cost assistance, repairs. There's a whole bunch of negotiation that goes on when you submit an offer.
Right. So once the offer is accepted for whatever it may be, at that point that both parties sign and execute that contract, then we're going to be in what's called an option period. So an option period is for X amount of days. It can be anywhere is from 7 to possibly 10 days. And in that time, as a buyer, you're doing your due diligence to purchase a home inspection. This is maybe the second out-of-pocket cost that the buyer could look at, which is normally about $300 to $600 roughly. We find about $450 roughly.
It just depends on what company you use or which contractor you use.
Exactly. So once that inspector goes out there to the home, they inspect the home, they dish out a inspection report to you. Then we go through it, analyze everything that may or may not be wrong with the home, but should there be items to fix or repair, we negotiate with the seller and say, hey, seller, it looks like these items are wrong with the home. Can you fix these items? And if you don't fix them, are you willing to provide us with money to fix them at a later date? We just want to tend to these items because this is what we've discovered. And in that option period, you negotiate. And once those final days are up to 7 or 10 days, then you are both locked in to proceed to the next point, which is going to be to
finalize financing and just
get an
make
appraisal on the home, make sure it's of the value that you're asking for.
Yes. So after that option period, and for sure, we're locked into this home, we're going to continue forward. You're going to get with your lender to provide any more documents needed to finalize that pre-approval or to finalize your financing essentially for the home. And that's when also you will, your lender along the way will let you know at what point you lock in your interest rate, right? And then you get the clear to close, right? So clear to close means that everything went smoothly. The lender is completed with finalizing your finances, and they say, yes, you are able to move forward with this home.
Okay, now one item to definitely consider at this point while we're under contract and purchasing your home is the fact that we can't move any finances around. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that at this point, I would not try to go seek interest into getting a new vehicle, buying any furniture,
opening up any new lines of credit.
Opening new accounts, credit cards, what have you. All that I would suggest is to hold off until after the closing is complete, because what may happen is that your lender has approved you for X amount of money for the loan of your home, based on your monies at the time. But should those finances change, or your situation change with credit lines, and now you owe more money because you've just you went on a shopping spree and you put this money down, do you owe that amount? They're going to ask, okay, well, this is new from when we approved you. Can you still pay it off? And
so just in short, as exciting as it is, even when the lender says, okay, you're good to go on this home, wait to purchase furniture, just anything large, to make any large payment or large transactions until after closing day. You want to make sure that you for sure sign off on that dotted line and you get into your home without any hiccups.
When it comes to money while under a contract, the most important items to consider with your money is to ensure that you do have your closing costs and your down payment, which some of these items are going to be dependent on the price, but everybody's situational, right? Everybody's situation is different because of the price point and monies and negotiations that occur, right? So at the very end or in the midst of it, the lender will advise, this is what we need to come with at the closing table, and this is what your down payment is. All those other details that are important when it comes to finances will be referenced here, but not opening anything new is ultimately what we're trying to say.
Yeah, no, definitely. And so once all of that has taken place, you have not purchased anything new, opened up any new lines of credit, your lender says you are good to go, then the next step would be getting to the closing table, right? So you are going to make it to closing day, and then that's when you're going to meet at the title company to sign off on your new home, right? And you are going to want to bring things like a valid driver's license and any closing costs or down payments that you do need to furnish on that day.
Right. And that's really pretty much all there is to it. Once
that
you
day you go, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
That day you go and you go with your agent there, and the title company is gonna go over all the closing disclosures, a bunch of paperwork that you're gonna have to sign, and you are gonna sign on that dotted line for your home.
Now, Alyssa and I always attend all of our buyers' closings because it's important for us that they finalize on the great experience that you all will have in the midst of the contract, in the midst of purchasing your home, but we ensure that all promises that have been made from the beginning are true into the end,
Sure.
even from when you sign, because we verify everything that has been put on paper, because what's put on paper is what matters, right?
Yes.
So we like to ensure that all of our clients are taken care of and there's no second guessing or doubts once we leave that table, because the only thing new that we come out of that table is going to be the keys to your new home, right?
Yes.
Which is like super exciting, and a plus maybe a garage door opener, because that's what we've negotiated, right? In addition to everything else.
Yeah, so it really is a fun and exciting day. So once you've signed and the process has gotten started to get that deed record, or the deed is recorded, you grab the keys and the home is yours. And so the steps really don't stop there, though. Once you got to the closing table, signed off on your home, you walk into your brand new home, there are still a couple things to do, which is after you've moved in, it's really getting settled in, right? And things need to get done in the process of getting settled in.
Right. So all those items that Alyssa was referring to is just things that you'll have to do on your end to ensure that you're in a good position of making sure you transfer all the utilities over to your name, making sure that you're signing up for the new trash service, right?
Yeah, a change of address notification, so that way now you're receiving all your mail at your new address.
Right.
So there are just things you want to make sure that you're doing after closing day to make sure that you have a smooth move into your new home.
And what Alyssa and I will always do is going to be that with Texas, and we talk about property taxes, which is a conversation for a whole nother video.
This is really important.
This is really important in the sense that Texas offers a tax break for your homestead, right? So it's called a homestead exemption.
Yes.
And so if this is your primary home, we ensure that you all know how to file that form to make sure that your property taxes is bumped out just like a point or two, whatever they do, to allow you to benefit more from an exemption on your property taxes.
No, definitely. That's very important. So another important step that you want to take after you've settled in, moved in, you want to make sure you definitely get that taken care of.
Right. So honestly, this was a very thorough video on how to purchase a home, whether it be anywhere or here in San Antonio. So we hope this video has a lot of value and you're able to block out all the noise from all the other videos out there on YouTube or any other social media platform that says you have to do X, Y, and Z before you do anything. Talk to us, talk to the professionals. If you'd like, schedule a Zoom call with us. And just ask questions, because that's what it's all about. We want to make sure that you feel confident, because if you feel confident, then we feel confident about the whole situation. And even if you're still stressed or nervous, don't worry. We're there to take that stress for you, because that's just what we do. We want our clients to have a good experience. So hope this video was super valuable and very thorough for you. Hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you on the next video.